Aren't bones hard? Yep. And their structure is a tidbit more exciting than that of a rock. On we go! Let's take a look at the structure of a long bone. You can clearly see what's the important stuff. Long bones have an elongated shape. A good example of a long bone is the femur, or otherwise, the humerus. Now then, here you can see a cross-section. We'll start on the outside. On the outside, around the bone, is the taut bone skin. This is also called the periosteum. The periosteum contains many blood vessels and nerves. On one hand, this means that the periosteum is very sensitive to pain. Anyone who's ever been kicked in the shin knows that well. On the other hand, the high blood vessel density helps the periosteum. First of all, a lot of nutrients are provided to the bone. This is important for the healing process and nourishment of the bone. Wherever two bones meet, we usually also see a cartilage layer on the outside. What's the function of this cartilage layer? This prevents bones from wearing out too much when they rub against each other. The cartilage tissue is not particularly hard, but it's elastic. If you simply rub the hard parts of the bone together, they would wear out more. The cortex layer of the bone is located underneath the periosteum. This is also called the cortical bone. It's the hard part of the bone. It's virtually like a solid wall with a strong and compact structure. The cortical bone is also what you know and feel as the typical bone. The cortex layer / cortical bone consists of many small basic elements. Each of these basic elements is called an osteon. This is a small canal of bone cells wrapped around a blood vessel. Put together, many of these small canals go on to form the cortex layer. Let's get to the stuff in the middle. This is the spongiosa. Just think of it as the spongy part in the middle of the bone. Spongiosa, sponge. Makes sense so far. Just like in a sponge, there are many small hollow spaces in the spongiosa. This makes the bone more lightweight, but still hard. There's no air in the hollow spaces, but bone marrow instead, of which there are different types: the yellow bone marrow and the red bone marrow. The yellow bone marrow contains fat, which is why it's also called fatty marrow. Blood cells are formed in the red bone marrow. This is an indispensable function of bones. Be sure to check out our video on the functions of bones. We've gone through enough here. Simply remember the following. The bone skin is called the periosteum. It contains a lot of blood vessels and nerves, which are important for the healing process and the nourishment of the bone. The cartilage layer prevents wear. The cortex layer is called the cortical bone. It's a hard wall with a strong and compact structure. Basic element: osteon. Spongiosa with hollow spaces. The yellow bone marrow stores fat, while the red bone marrow forms blood cells. Well done, guys and gals. I hope you enjoyed this. Check out our other material on bones, humans, genetics, and all that jazz as well. See you soon.